Hello again, everybody. It is the coach. You're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. Coming up, we've got a good one on tap between the Austin Armadillos and the Green Bay Packers. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
We are at the oldest continually operating stadium in the NFL as you get a look inside Lambeau Field in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Austin Armadillos and the Green Bay Packers. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we look at this Packer team as we enter play here. It's an early test here after 2 losses to start the season, and a game they probably really need.
Obviously, no way do they want to get to 0-3. Not many teams make the playoffs with that kind of a start.
Meanwhile, for our visiting Austin Ball Club, it's been a great start to the season. Back-to-back wins to begin the campaign.
Yeah, you don't want to get too excited. There's still a lot of season to go, but they've come out playing good fundamental football, and that might carry them a long way.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. And they'll run it here. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd down, Wilson. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
It'll be a gain of 9, and that'll bring up 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high-percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the 1st down. In this case, it didn't happen.
Detroit!
A first carry now for Nick Chubb. He'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 23.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now 2nd and 7 from the 23. They'll look to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Deshaun Hall. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And an alley to run. That scramble good for 13 yards, but not good enough for a 1st down. It's 4th.
I thought he did a pretty good job there to get back what he could, but let's face it, that sack on 2nd down, talk about throwing a wrench into the works. He certainly did.
Yeah, he did everything he could there trying to pick up some positive yardage, and he did, but not enough. So still a scoreless game in the 1st, but they're going to go for this thing on their own side of the field on 4th down.
Detroit!
They're indeed going for it as they look to throw. Got a man, it's Ross, complete. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
That's a good chunk of yardage. It's going to be canceled out.
And we always talk about hidden yardage in a game. That's going to count as that because now it doesn't go on the books, but now they have to make that up again, don't they?
Take it at the 37. That'll be a 43-yard punt, but a net of just 33 following a 10-yard return. And it'll be Packer football here. First down and 10. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old-school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. They'll wind up losing 4 yards on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 14.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. And they'll go on the ground. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Call it no gain there, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 13.
All right, quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the 2nd and the 3rd level.
Airing it out deep for Woods. It's caught inside the 25. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. That goes as a gain of 36 on 3rd down. So the defense blitzed. A nice job picking that up, completing the pass.
And how in sync was the quarterback in his center on that play? They saw the blitz, made the appropriate calls, got the line engaged because now they know there are going to be extra guys coming at the quarterback, so they got their assignments down pat and kept them away from him, and he's able to step up in the pocket and fire one now for a really good strike. Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety? They're coming up and making the big-time play.
And he'll get this down only to the 18. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
But that was certainly an aggressive call and an aggressive play. Instead of just going for the first down, took the shot in the end zone, went for the touchdown.
Yeah, and on 3rd down, they said, forget about the sticks. We want 6. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
Now this offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
Gone, gone! Gone, gone!
They'll try and start this drive in the air. And he's got his big tight end over the middle, complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A gain of 32 that time.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So the big play gets them across midfield now for 1st and 10. On first down, they'll run with Chubb. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. This running game's so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead them to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity, and that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week, and right now we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
They go with Chubb on 2nd down. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. This will be their first trip to the red zone. 1st and 10 right at the 20. A give. This is Chubb. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 22 carries, 116 yards.
And they've got a nice scheme going right now, and they run the football pretty well. In fact, I was talking with him on the field before the game, and he said he's starting to hear from the guys ahead of him on the rushing yardage total, and they want to know if he's going to...
Back now with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin. It's Austin football to begin quarter number 2. They've got it 2nd and 4 to start things out. They'll look to throw here. This is caught. And he gets into the end zone for the touchdown. In for the score. And his guys are able to strike for 6.
Partner, remember that old film of Peyton Manning going through the route tree with his great receivers in Indianapolis? I think we're seeing the results of the same type of work here today. These guys know each other so well that they don't even have to call the play. They can just look each other and know the route that's going to be run, and usually the connection is perfect.
That time, 75-yard drive, 5 plays. Now McManus on to kick this one off. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. And at least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them want to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it. Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level, because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. The Packers on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. From the gun, it's Wilson. To the sideline, and wow, what a catch there. He doesn't get a lot, but he was able to get the feet down complete. Call it a 3-yard gain, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
Was that a receiver? Yeah, actually it was. It was a running back who was a receiver on the play. I think he's been spending time in the receiver drills getting his feet down.
Well, those guys out of the backfield, they got to be good, agile with their feet. He showed the agility there with a toe tap.
No doubt about it. It's like he'd run to ballet school. Got the toes down and stayed in bounds.
And that negates a pretty decent punt return.
And the goal is to gain a 1st down on a punt return, which is 10 yards. This was much more than that, but it is going to come back due to the illegal block in the back.
So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10.
All right, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
They'll look to throw here on 1st down. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10.
All right, here we go.
Handoff comes to Chubb. And he coughed it up, and the Packers pick it up. And to the 43, so down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. That's where they'll take over.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense.
After reviewing the play, the movement on the field is reversed.
They're going to look to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Hudson. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. His first catch, good for 9 and a 1st down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19.
On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. Throw left side, complete to Ross. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. 23 yards on the play. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. He can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives them a 1st and goal.
As long as you go through your proper reads and progressions, the drag route can be one of those old reliable plays because usually it's good for a good chunk of yardage, as we just saw there.
And those guys like it, right? They can get the ball with a full head of steam.
Especially against man coverage, because man coverage, they're typically running away from someone and not worried about traffic coming out on the other end.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Over the middle, complete. It's Farmer. Nice gain of 8 that time, and it's 2nd and goal. Two minutes remain here in the 1st half. We're back to Lambeau following these words. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. They'll try and sneak it here. And he is into the end zone for a touchdown. It's their quarterback with his second touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. And his guys are going to add on to their lead. So it was 2nd and goal, still had a couple of downs to work with. They tried to sneak, and they got in.
I like the idea that they did it early in the down and distance count. 2nd down as opposed to waiting later on. I think it fooled them a little bit, but how about the push they got up front to get the quarterback through?
Big push and a touchdown to boot. Now McManus on to kick this one off. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. They'll throw on 1st down with Wilson. And he finds a man with a crossing route. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. First play of the drive going for 14 and a 1st down. Wilson toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands. Guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
2nd and 10. It's Wilson again. Going back to Moore. This time he's got him complete. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down. Now Wilson. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. Wilson now hitting on 80% of his passes in the early going. 8 of 10. It's 1st down. Wilson will throw again. And he'll go right back to Moore. Complete again. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. A good pickup there. 26 yards. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. From the red zone now, here's Wilson on 1st down. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. And before this 2nd down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. 2nd and 12 after the 1st down pass play went backwards for 2 yards. Throwing again here, Wilson. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this 1st half. So 2 plays with only negative yardage to show, and now it's 3rd and 16. To throw again is Wilson. And the incompletion there, so that breaks a string of 5 straight hookups. It also leads to a 4th down. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this 1st half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
This is taken just shy of the 10 here. And a good return up past the 30, but was it aided by an illegal block or a hold? Let's see.
Illegal block in the back. Return team.
So that will push him back.
1st down.
And now we know why I had a little extra space to run, don't we? An illegal block in the back, that penalty will move them back.
So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10.
Set. Green 39. Green 39.
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. Packer pressure, and down he goes. And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Throw left side complete. It's Hudson. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 30. A good pickup there. 18 yards as they get closer for 3rd down.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
Now back to throw. Going deep downfield for Ross. And that is incomplete. So 17 seconds now on the clock here.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Now, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. 9 seconds to play, likely the final snap of the first half as it's 1st and 10. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. And we will skip the highlight show this week. Get right back to this Week 3 matchup. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense. Now they'll run it on the toss. And it'll work his way across the 30 to the 32. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Back to throw now on 1st down. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just 1 target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target in the second half.
Well, should not stop them at all from going back to him. Find him. Find him.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And incomplete. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise. Because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down. They'll net only 35 here following a 43-yard boot, 8-yard return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Here's the Packers offense now getting set to start off this third quarter. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance really to set the tone here in quarter three.
They can really take charge, can't they? And this is probably how it was drawn up at the half. I think we can go inside the locker room, all right? And I think we would see up on the grease boards, stop them defensively, get the ball back for the offense, and let's go downfield and score. Seems simple, right? The last part, we have to find out that's going to happen. But the first part worked to perfection. Did exactly what they wanted, and now their offense has to pay it off.
See if they can get the latter 50%. Now it's Wilson. The hitter here, it's complete. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. First target, first catch, and a first down.
I know I spent a lot of time talking about how tight ends in a lot of cases now are pumped up wide receivers, but they're still big people. He used that frame right there to absorb a really big hit on him and held on to the ball.
Now a play fake here on first down. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. T.J. Watt coming hard on the blitz. He dumps him for a loss of 8.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
On second down, here's Wilson. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. We'll check on his status when we get back. The Packers on third down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This will be 3rd and 15. From the shotgun, Wilson. Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down. T.J. Watt in there to get him his second sack now of the afternoon. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than next.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
Yeah, that's a pretty good one for the old average. 68 yards on the punt there. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Now here's the signal caller getting ready to lead this offense again. He's been pretty solid, pretty consistent, just the 1 touchdown pass, but I think he's managed the game well, no?
I would agree with you, and that's what you're looking for out of your field leader, making sure that you're playing well and not making any big mistakes. Oftentimes, that's how you're judged. How big a mistake and when it occurs. No interception so far. They'll like that.
I just want you to know that you agreeing with me, that's going to get me through this 3rd and 4th quarter. Are you touched? He's patting his heart, boys and girls. He's touched.
Respect.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. Only a yard on the pickup, so a good situation on 2nd and 2. It's now 3rd and 1. It's a quarterback sneak. And he maybe makes it back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. So call that no gain on the sneak, and now they're still a yard short here on 4th.
No gain? Quarterback sneak? No gain? Aren't you supposed to get something out of that?
Yeah, needed a full yard there. And how about this one now? In their own territory, a gutsy call. They're going to go for this on 4th and a yard.
Detroit!
They'll try and throw for it here. Got a man, it's Ross, complete. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. A big roll of the dice on 4th and 1, but it pays off. They convert.
We always hear about guys wanting to make plays that quiet a crowd.
Yeah.
After that one.
Here in the 3rd quarter, they were hoping to get the stop, get the football back. Not the case.
What a completion on a 4th down play.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Ross. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Another nice gain, 16 yards there, and a 1st down again.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
Now they'll run it on the toss. 10 more there and another 1st down.
In my book, that's running the ball well, but with intelligence. How about him keeping the clock moving, staying in bounds?
Yeah, even though it's the 3rd quarter, you're thinking ahead, aren't you? This is where your running game can really help you with a lead in the 2nd half.
I agree totally. It's not just end-of-the-half situations that you're worried about the clock. It's throughout the game. And with a lead, stay in bounds. Make them fight harder to try and catch you.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Now, let's go. Green 39. Green 39.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. As we're about ready to rock and roll for the 4th and final quarter. This quarterback now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10.
Leopard. Leopard.
And on the ground they go with the running back. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains. How about this offensive line? They're really starting to establish themselves, take over this game.
And before the series began, I know exactly what we said in the defensive huddle. Guys, we got to get no less than a 3 and out. Let's get off the field. Instead, they can't find any traction towards doing that. Right now, they're just getting muscled all over the field and getting pushed down it.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Oh, there's no doubt that this is a huge defensive series right here. They've got to hold them to a field goal attempt or less. Otherwise, this game just might be out of reach. Let's see if they can hunker down and get it done.
They'll look to throw here. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. 6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a 3rd down. This offense on 3rd down today, not good. 0 for 4 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. They'll give it to him right up the gut. Call it no gain that time, and they're going to be left looking up at a 4th and 1.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
And McManus able to put it through. And that will extend their lead here to 17-6. A big one there. That gives them a little cushion and makes it a 2-score game.
Yeah, bled a little time off the clock, put some points on the board. It's not totally out of reach yet, but it has to feel pretty good to them right now because as a defender, you go out on the field and say, guess what? You can put some points on the board, but that won't beat us.
Now Wilson on first down. Right side complete. That's Woods. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 and a first down. They need a touchdown, the 2-point conversion, and a field goal. Pretty good start to the drive, though.
Yeah, good start to the drive, but the urgency has to really be increased by both the players on the field and everyone on the sidelines. Got to make sure everyone is up and into this game.
Wilson breaks a tackle. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, you're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. 12 more yards there and another first down.
If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Now, he's been a busy man out of the backfield. They've looked his way quite a bit so far in this game.
Nice job there defensively, though, adjusting, because a couple of his earlier catches, he was wide open. Not that time.
You mentioned the key word, adjustment. A better cover man on him now in space.
2nd and 10 from the 33-yard line. Second and 10 now. Wilson into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 29. And the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line. Try to get it to Woods.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games. And now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
They'll set up to throw. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
I think that's a big-time play there because the slant route is really hard to cover because the timing is so quick. But able to see it, diagnose it, and get to the football, that's why he's able to bat it away.
Detroit! Detroit!
They'll look to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. A gain of 26 on the 3rd down conversion. Big hook up there, forced to throw it on 3rd down. The connection's going to keep the drive alive and also keep the clock moving.
Yeah, and from a defensive perspective, didn't get a sack, didn't knock the ball free, didn't break up the pass. The clock keeps running on you. You're in a dire situation now.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway.
Lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They'll look to throw here on 1st down. And he fends him off. Flush to his right. And he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. So it's our visitors with a football as we get you reset. And you'd have to figure they're just looking to burn these final 2 minutes away and get out of here with a victory. And they'll run it here. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. And quickly we're going to get another stop here with 1:54 left as they call the timeout defensively. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. And now the Packers going to take another timeout. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he will take this one in for a touchdown. A great effort there. His first touchdown of the new season. And his guys find a way to stretch that lead. Now it's looking incredibly likely to be a 3-0 start to this season. That is obviously excellent. 2-0 is one thing. 3-0, you really have some momentum.
And now they're serving notice to the rest of the league that they're a pretty darn good football team. Confident, aggressive, attacking at all times. This looks like a team that you're going to have to deal with. And guess what? Behind closed doors, they're trying to figure out ways to get better.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was long.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. Again on 2nd and 10, it's Wilson. Now they go screen, it's complete. Nothing on the screen that time, now it's 3rd down. Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set. On 3rd down, Wilson. Now a clash of bodies here, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 49. He's at it again, Charles. He had the pick 6 last week. Not a pick 6 here, but an interception.
Hey, it's another Oski, because that's the word we use when you intercept the pass. Oski tells your team to rally around and block for you. Well, that worked really well last week because he had made it all the way to the end zone. This week he got the Oski, maybe not a touchdown, but boy, he's playing really well.
And they'll go on the ground. And this will be taken across midfield and into Green Bay territory. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get him behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards on the pickup, and they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches. Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because we've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe they get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college, and how about in the NFL? The miracle of the Meadowlands. All they had to do was take a knee and the game was over. The Giants ran it one more time. Ball popped free. Philadelphia picks it up and wins the game.
What year was that?
1978. I think it was in November.
Officially a gain of just a yard there, but they do convert on 3rd and inches. A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for Austin, it's an ideal start as they move to 3-0 now on the young season. And they'll head back home next week to take on the Chicago Bears. Meanwhile, for the Packers,